What if words are a railing in the dark night, giving us something to hold on when we feel utterly lost, unsure how to proceed? What if that home I am so missing is inside me? What if that longing for home is actually a longing to be fully at home in us, in me? What if that cure for loneliness is turning within? My mother said something very useful a few years ago, and I like that. She says, if there's something that you can't fix, just step over it. And that was useful for me, because I think I have that sort of mind that tries to understand always. And sometimes you cannot understand it, because it makes no sense. Then learn to just step over it. Let it go. That was useful. What's the point of dwelling on all the stuff that's not right? Take care of it as good as you can, and then concentrate again on the things that will actually bring you forward, rather than hold you back or make you sad. I've spent lots of years being sad, and I've written a lot about it. And for me, this was a way of kind of making sense of it, where it comes from and why and how. And I'm just grateful that my life is so shifted now, that I don't have those overwhelming worries about my relationship or the sadness in me. That's gone. That's gone. And for that, I'm grateful. I don't know if it comes also with getting older, that you anyway reach a point where you can be at ease without having to always find ways to improve things, because they're already good. There's already so much good. We've been together for over 40 years married, and have 4 beautiful children. We had lots of good things, but there were also things that were not so right. Living in a relationship where I loved the person so much, but there was also so much that was not nourished. We lost the connection to each other. And in a way, his needs were different than mine. It's just that we had moved into different directions. After we separated, although my head understood it completely and we did it for the right reasons and with lots of care, my heart took a lot longer to accept that. First of all, there's disbelief that this really has ended now. And I think for quite a long time, one always thinks maybe one can still fix it. This can't be it. But there's another voice in my head that says, it's time to let go for a long time, so just accept that. But I don't think the heart and the mind speak the same language. They often misunderstand each other. What was helpful in that time of my grief was I have a good friend who said to me, you can phone any time of the day or night if you just need to talk. And that was very helpful because I felt at times that I could really disappear. I could disintegrate. I was so sad. And he just kind of gave me that little bit of, like a railing. There's somebody who makes sure that I'm not disappearing. And he never grew tired of hearing me talking about my problems and about my sadness and how I don't understand it. And I think a person who is hurt needs to talk about that and rehash this whole thing again and again and again and again. And I do think eventually you accept it. It is easy to lean on somebody else when we're feeling in need of help. But as soon as we realize that, I think we'll have to actually go within again, because it's there that we find the strength. I think there's also a process that has to do with time. Our life is made in a way that we are always swimming again on top. I don't think nature actually lets us drown. So we have to just hang in there. Life is a bit of a conveyor belt. It will move us along. We just have to actually be patient enough that we will come out again of that. Yeah. You can really only do something right now. Think about that. I think through all this reading I've done in all those philosophers and clever people, this is the message. Try really to just concentrate on today, because you can't predict what's happening. You're just wasting energy. Try not to waste energy on that. No. That robs you of valuable living time. I've heard this for so many years, but until it actually fell into place and understood it, maybe this happens with getting older, as I said. There's something to look forward to. Oh. In my early days of my grieving, sitting there thinking about my life and how to go forward, and my heart ached, and somehow within that morning it was overcast and the light was shining onto the water. There was stillness in me, and all of a sudden I thought of those moments when we were very close, and also in the early times, as my treasure. And regardless of the outcome, this will always be my treasure. And somehow that felt such a deep wisdom. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's okay now that he lives somewhere else and I live somewhere else, and that's fine. I've done a lot of good loving and good living, and I'm grateful for the time we had together. My life has been very rich, and now I just love my very ordinary, everyday life with doing my work, my doing my painting, baking the bread here and there. The small things, the beauty in the small things, das Glück der kleinen Dinge. That's what I love. I love it when the neighbor's cat comes and visits me, or the light comes in a certain way. I love when something in the garden starts to flower. I think it's important that we hold on to those things because they are actually all around us. We don't need to look for the big things to make us happy. If you can just train yourself a little bit to see that. I'm completely at peace. I feel younger than when I was in my 40s because I feel there's joy and there's spontaneity. If the next 10, 20, 30 years are there for just living, I'm very blessed. And I don't feel there's anything missing in my life, except maybe a man with a Land Rover for holidays, only holidays. I say this for fun always. My children tease me no end about that, but I feel there's nothing missing in my life. At the end of my story, I think I want to just leave behind that this was a beautiful life well lived.
Thanks to all of you who helped make this film possible. All of our films are totally crowdfunded. So if you'd like to continue to support us on our journey, check out our Green Renaissance page on Patreon.